I'm going live. This Hangout on air is live. All right. Lainey, are you around? Okay. Now, why is the microphone muted? Turn camera off. Okay, well, we're going to have to do that. Okay. I just want to show you what this looks like. You're going to be on the air too, so here we go. So, and here's where all the attendees will be posting questions, and I'll see who's online. And here's where I have the control room to do the Q&As, screen share if I want to show them different things, chatting, draw on each other inside a Hangout. That's an interesting idea. Okay, screen captures.
All right, well, I'm going to go take a bath, get started.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
By the time I get out of the bathtub, you'll still be going.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to have to bring the dogs into the act too. Well, everybody, I want to... there's a gift? I doubt it. I don't think so. I don't think they gifted me. I have 2 boys left after Jazzmine passed on. Yes. Yes. Buddy, who is my blind, I think he's going deaf, Shih Tzu of 13 years as well. I'll tell you the progression in a minute, but he has a really an addiction to a chicken jerky treat, and the package says he's allowed up to 2 per day, so he's had 1 already, and he's looking to break into the bag while I'm busy doing this. So I'm going to get him over here in a minute. And yeah, so Jazz was my first, and she is the female. And basically, I got her when I was doing a job for a Boca Raton artist. He was a gentleman, I really don't remember his name offhand. But he's quite well known, and he had actually done a sculpture, and it was in front of the Boca Raton town center, not the shopping center, but the city center, for lack of a better term here. You know, where the police station is. And so anyway, he was quite well known, and he had a beautiful house on the water in Boca. So I was building a wine alcove. We don't have actual basements here in Florida, so especially by the water. So he had like a split level type of thing, and he had an alcove underneath the stairway. And he wanted to have a wine, keep it kept cool. So, and he wanted to have enough for like 12 cases of wine. So I built him this thing. And at the same time, his son, who was 18 years old and young man, and had a beautiful girlfriend, and being, he's Israeli, this artist, and old world, basically, where he wanted his son to have all these responsibilities and to grow up and not be so part of this bourgeois environment and get spoiled, you know, because all he thought about was cars and his girlfriend and, you know, so partying. So anyway, he got him this little puppy to take care of, and his son wanted nothing less than to take care of this dog. So the dog was downstairs with me 90% of the time I was working, and we bonded. And subsequently, as I finished the job, you know, instead of an actual tip, because he was very happy with the way things turned out, that he gave me Jazzmine. And so that was how I got her. And then Buddy came along a little later in the next, and that was maybe within a year after I got Jazz. And I got him from a beautician. And you know, her family had actually had a larger dog as well, but they also had a baby into the family. And Buddy, being a little was just kind of like the odd boy out. It was a shame. But they only wanted one dog, basically, and the larger one ended up staying. So I got, and then Bijan, and as I said, they're all 13. I got him within a year of Buddy, and he was from a stockbroker in Boca who had a pristine white apartment with his wife. The wife didn't like anything that wasn't white, and especially anything that came out of Bijou that wasn't white wasn't accepted. And I guess there was a lot of pressure to just get rid of the dog. I mean, he was crated 90% of the time and miserable, and he's such a lively, beautiful, you know, great personality. And so I went there and came home with a little Bijan. And that completed the trio, the three amigos. And I am not prepared to show you videos and have pictures right for this first production. This will actually be seen on demand, and but I will be working on having things ready for when I remember to send the invitation link to everyone, and also post it on Facebook. And I'm sure it'll get quite busy in here because there are a lot of us that have lost loved animals, and you know, we get over it in one way or another. Time marches on, and we have to certainly keep our focus on the present or the future. And it certainly doesn't help when we're stuck in the past. And the thing is that a lot of us, though, do have these emotions, and we'd love the opportunity to be able to share with others, and just to, you know, what's beautiful about it, it actually brings us into our heart space. And, you know, with all the stuff outside the space, and kind of puts those separations in place that just, you know, whether we're partying or whether we don't want to deal with what's on our hearts, you know, this kind of breaks through all the illusion and brings us back to what's real. And, you know, it also creates stronger bonds between people. And this setting a kind of rule base for, it's not to have a pity party. It's not to be on, you know, taking space. Telling stories is one thing, but, you know, having of like 3 to 4 minutes at a time to be able to relay what's on your heart, different things that might have happened, and things that happened today that remind you of the pet. And because so many things that I do in the course of the day remind me of Jazz. I see her all the time. I mean, you know, and it just wells me up inside. But, you know, I'm so grateful, and I'm grateful for Bijou. Bijou is such a lively spitfire. He really keeps me from being down. You know, I'd still find myself really missing Jazz if it wasn't for Bijou. And Buddy has his place too. He's a little more sedate and not quite, certainly not nearly as outgoing as Bijou, but again has his incredible personality, and he's a very sweet boy. They both are. Bijou, and you'll see this in videos, used to literally take care of Jazz all through her life, her adult life. I mean, as long as I can remember, he would clean her ears in the morning, clean her face. I mean, just shower her with love, and she'd be there, and she'd be the queen. She would literally be the queen, and then he'd go off and do his thing, and but it was always, I mean, they were connected at the hip. I mean, I took them out, Buddy being blind, I wouldn't take out with them all the time. Once in a while, obviously he needs exercise. He's gaining weight now, especially, but like me, more exercise. But as far as Bijou and Jazz, they just ran together, and but she was my girl. She was my girl. Very sweet. So even now, it just brings me right into my heart. Just fabulous little dog. And I'm not going to replace them as they go this time around. I have a woman friend now, Lainey, who we're looking to have more quality time together, be able to travel more, be able to do things that actually my having dogs around has been hampering that particular part of our relationship and my life. I mean, it's been a big responsibility to have them, and I've been up for it. And certainly with Jazz, since she's been sick, I've literally been with her a great amount of time at the expense of socializing and doing a lot of work and even focusing on a lot of projects. I took care of her, and more and more, and the reward was that there was just this incredible bond with this beautiful being, that not a human being, but a puppy being. She's just just so real right there. I mean, it's all in her eyes. So, and I know so many out there will have that. So I'm looking forward to actually hearing from other people and sharing and posting questions. There'll be places for you to post videos. I want to have a blog that will relate to this, where we can post our pictures and videos and share and kind of say, wow, that was just so intense, so beautiful. Just thank you for sharing. And really give our animals that sense of, not only are they important to us, but just, people get to really feel who they were in their personalities when we watch these videos. I mean, it'll come through. And to me, that's just so amazing and a blessing, and just so much a part of the intelligent universe, and just the extension of who we are and the oneness of it all. And again, like dolphins, whales, elephants, wolves, ants, the different bugs. I mean, it's like birds, especially. It's just amazing to me how I watch different parts of nature, especially, the animal, bird, and amphibian parts that I'm privy to, and they all have their own way of conveying. Every single one has its own way of conveying who they are and what they are, and reality. It's quite amazing. And I know you've all touched on that from time to time. It's hard not to. It's again, we're hopefully as we get older, and it's kind of adds to the wisdom pot, and being able to hear what others have to share around us, and the teachers that actually we all are at some extent if we're open to learning. You know, I mean, kids especially have a lot to share with us to get back to our roots, to get back to our young inner nature, and not, you know, get so hung up on such inane stuff that we're heaping on ourselves constantly. I mean, this world, it's like, it's you know, almost sick. It's a dis-ease. It's, you know, and it's us, the boomers at this point. I mean, we are becoming the senior generation charge, and supposedly we went through the revolution culturally, and you know, to have those big changes happen, and awareness changes and consciousness changes, you know, bridging east and west, and you know, just you know, increasing in our doing things differently from previous generations, and bringing peace and love and tranquility, and the understanding of the synchronistic moments, and how we are blessed with so many beautiful things. And here we are, we've taken the mantle, but we perpetuated this destruction. And there are still so many forces out there that are killing wildlife and us. We're part of that wildlife. Maybe not as wild as some of us would like to be, but you know, it doesn't matter whether you're living off the grid or on the grid. I mean, in general, it's going to be very hard to hide. And yeah, I think we've got a huge amount of learning in the next few years that is going to be really.
We have a huge amount of pee right here on the floor, because somebody was trying to tell you.
I think it was Buddy. You know what? That's why he was barking so much. The pee says it all. Buddy had to go. It's not funny, Lainey. So let's not all laugh at the same time. Oh, the paper towels are out, and
Then just going to clean it up.
Paper towels, and Lainey's wrapped in her towel. Okay, come here, Lainey. Show us. No, I'm only kidding. This is not an X-rated situation here. And if Buddy was here,
and he's looking up his own pee.
Oh no, Buddy. Okay, well that means I got to get him. Okay, give me a second here, and I will be right back. But you silly boy, I know you're guilty. It's okay. Here, I want you to meet
Jonathan.
What?
I'll have Buddy meet the people. You can clean up the people.
Oh, yeah.
It's at real time.
Right, Lainey. Just come here. This is the big boy here. My big boy in my house here. Okay, I guess I don't have to wear the headphones. I mean, this is going to be on YouTube, and
I'm dressed.
You're you get a pin right there, a little jewelry.
It's the new fashion.
A nice
Okay,
bath.
home, Buddy.
Okay, I'm going to clean it up in a second. Okay, hi, Bud. This is Budster, my big Bud, and he's due for a groom. Tomorrow he's being groomed. I need a grooming too, and I was supposed to get my haircut today, and I totally forgot about.
I'll have Buddy go look at the pee. It's an easy way to clean it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Come here, Buddy.
Don't let him.
You already did.
Well, that wasn't very smart. So anyway.
You can tell Buddy that.
Okay. So anyway, yes, actually in tribute to, well, not tribute, but actually as Jazz got sick, then I really did not continue to cut my hair. So it's actually been for about 10 months now that it's been growing. And I was supposed to have it cut off today in preparation for this webinar. And just to fill you in, I actually have been posting that I was going to have this webinar for the last few Wednesdays. And right now, I can't really go into what happened at the beginning of May. Today is the 20th.
Yeah, you can tell your viewers.
But on the 13th, I actually, last Wednesday, had gone in for a procedure, an outpatient procedure of a colonoscopy, endoscopy, and getting my innards checked out. And it should have been, should have been fine and finished, except that I had an AFib event, and my heart started fluttering, and I also had a
No, you want to know what's the most interesting thing?
Don't
That
do
the whole
something
time,
stupid.
the
Yeah.
whole time you had this event and the whole time you were gone, the dogs never had one accident. I
Okay.
was with them for 2 days. They never peed on the floor, but
All
voila, now,
Okay, the proof is
they
in the
didn't
hand.
get somebody's
Thank-
attention.
Thanks for cleaning that up.
You're welcome. Here you go.
Okay. So, yeah, so I had this AFib, and also my heart started beating very, very quickly. I don't know, it was like at the 200 some odd beats per minute there, quite heavy. So I was admitted into, and I ended up staying there like 2 nights.
1 night, 2 days.
1 night and 2 days. Thank you. Yes.
Not as good as my cruise. That was 2 nights.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, so I did miss last week's webinar, and I did think about it, and I'm making up for it tonight. So we're actually going to run this now for a half hour. I actually foresee in the future that this will probably run about an hour once people start contributing. And
Actually,
yes.
if you have your mermaid stripper stuff, it may last longer.
Okay, I'm not quite understanding that. But okay, Lainey was contributing. And yeah, it's really just to kind of let us know maybe what you did.
Jonathan, he needs to go.
What you did. You know what, Lainey? So much for your input.
I mean, he needs to go. You
Well,
know,
then let him out. I mean,
Buddy,
what's the big
Well, I can't
deal?
go
I mean, I'm on air. I'm actually live, Lainey, and you're naked. So okay, so that's a really combination here. That's teamwork. This is going to be fun to watch in retrospect. I'm looking forward to all the feedback here. What kind of team effort do we have going on here?
Buddy, get over here. Here.
Buddy's going to lay down in his.
Oh, okay, buddy. You
Oh.
can be in the bed. You can poop
You know
in the
what?
bed, you can
Here,
do whatever
I just
you
want. This is what Lainey was afraid of, because there he is. This is.
Yeah, well, it's feet on the floor.
He peed on the floor. Yes, he is guilty as such, but he's a good boy. He really is, and he doesn't.
Yes, but his master is not.
I'm not a good guy. I know. Okay, I'm going to get the other one now. I want you to read the bijou, and it's the bijou. It's kind of disappeared.
Just another little contribution for all you viewers.
My boy. All right. Okay. Reading bag. People here. Excuse me. Pretty in pink. Yes, you are. Even a bathtub towel is like. And here is my.
Ta-da!
Okay, that reminds me of Soupy Sales. I don't know if you
They
remember.
can't see that.
I know. Do you remember that episode? That's why he got kicked off the air. Because actually one of his co-workers came on and actually.
So you didn't tell your viewers about the orchids.
Oh, yes. This is our anniversary orchids that truly are, we've really finally figured out that sometimes you don't need too much water for some plants. And I water them once a week, a couple of ice cubes. That's the secret. So this is Bijou, my little Bijan, and he was sleeping soundly, so I'm not very happy right now. And he's a ragamuffin because he truly needs to be groomed, and tomorrow he is. So next week, and they're going to be properly introduced to you, and they will look all beautiful. Yes, indeed. So, sorry, Bij. You can go back to sleep now. Yes. Gonna get them their last half of their treats there. So, okay. So we're running into the half-hour mark here, and I want to really thank you for listening. For all of you that are going to be seeing the replay. Finally, we are on the board, and this is the auspicious beginning of what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be just letting down our hair and kind of sharing from the heart, and it's going to be a lot of videos and pictures and hopefully a lot of fun, and not too much money on air because that is, well, yes. Okay, so I'm being summoned as we gotta wait for 2 minutes. So that was a full 30-minute production, and I hope it was somewhat interesting, somewhat exciting. Again, it's not a pity party. It's really getting in touch with our gratitude for the gift in the human category that we didn't have a choice about. And even sometimes when the universe blessed us with animals that we don't feel we necessarily had a choice about either. But for the most part, a lot of us did have choices in the animals that came into our lives. And it wasn't, it's still divine design, if you want to look at it that way. There are no accidents, at least in my mind. So, yeah, it is a gift, and it is to be grateful, and it is a chance to share in that. And it's not to be sad, it's to really not necessarily be glad, but really appreciate part of our lives. So I am now going to say adios. I'm just waiting for the minute to change. Yeah. It will not always be like this. I guarantee you that time will pass by quickly, and we will be wishing and, we'll be wondering where an hour went. So it is now 10:30, and we know where our pets are. So I thank you again, and this is Jonathan checking out for the evening and checking Lainey out in the other room, and walking the dogs so that they don't have any more accidents, and feeding them their treats, and saying adios. Namaste.